sorry obviously isn't the thing to say, or it is well, or you'll be fine. Ah. Mm.
Experience matures people. So that age you just number, you just people believe like you're 30, you be like, okay, why?
So hi guys, welcome back to T Space Pod, and it's your girl again Tolu, and I'm so excited because we're having another episode, nominate again, and I have like a full house again, and they're going to be introducing themselves shortly. So on my left,
The name's Daniel.
Jumoke.
Gloria,
I'm Tisefunmi.
Tisha. Okay, so we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence. We're going to shake tables. So firstly, Tisefunmi, how would you define emotional intelligence?
Uh, well, I think emotional intelligence is the ability to manage and control your emotions, and not just yours, the emotions of your the people you interact with, your peers, in a way to like avoid conflict. Mainly. Yeah.
Okay, so Jumoke, why do you think emotional intelligence is very essential for our personal growth?
Because once you're able to understand and recognize your emotions, you know your triggers, and you're able to avoid them or manage them better.
Okay. So there's this saying, like there's this common saying that women are more emotionally intelligent than men. Daniel, how do you see to
You want me to attack me, Abby?
that?
Women are more emotionally intelligent than men. Well, when you say he defined it perfectly, emotional intelligence is understanding your own emotions first and then others. That statement would fly on the basis of women tend to be more reserved and calm enough to understand or to tune in to that part of themselves that is emotional. Many guys are not always brought up to show emotion. Talk more of understand the next person. So, how chances are you're feeling something, you tell the guy this is how I feel, it's just going, there, you know, that kind of thing. So yes, that people might agree with that. I do not. I do not. I say I do not because um, men actually tend to show so much emotion through their lack of showing emotion. You just need to know that person well enough. You get me? It's that thing of saying without speaking. Yeah. So I'm not one for this gender that, and I'll just say it's equally balanced if you ask me. Just need to know the persons well enough. Yeah.
Gloria, what was your take on that?
Yes, I personally believe that women are more emotionally intelligent than men because do sorry, I take that back. I feel like men are more emotionally intelligent than women in some areas, and women are more emotionally intelligent than men in some areas. Now, in the areas of men being more emotionally intelligent than women, I feel like we women, people don't like this thing, but most women most times live with their emotions. How do I put it? Like they want to just like tend to cry or do something, But then men are like they are calmer, they think it through. But then women on the other hand, they think it through and but then when the woman actually thinks things through, her ideas are more reasonable than that of the man. So
Daniel, you're smiling.
what do you want to say?
I don't know. I just stand on the fact that it's equal. It's equal based on the fact that it is. You have your parts, we have our parts, right? The men have where they will show the emotional intelligence better than the women and vice versa. So, and I think there's even been studies showing these things that both parties have an equal set. It's just, Twitter bias that will make people argue for one side or the other. So, yeah.
Alright, okay. So, what strategies do you guys use when you are angry, when you are sad, when just like remove all these bad energies and bad emotions that you have? What strategies do you use? So, starting with Tisha.
Uh, the first thing I usually do is like just take a step back because I don't like to display, right. So like I want to be reserved when acting. So just take a step back.
Sorry, my tie that works because Tisha has been class governor for 5 sessions now, and I've never seen him angry. I'm calling that.
That's
Wow.
It's
That's
the same
serious.
thing. Like just keep quiet. Maybe count to maybe 20. in your mind.
But you know,
and then
silence
just-
is not always that good, you
No.
know. Because
Maybe
sometimes
you
you
can-
don't speak out, it causes a lot of
You can
pains
revisit the issue
Yeah, then they're calmer.
when you're calmer.
because I believe if I speak when I'm angry, you will not speak to me again.
I can't repeat it.
Yes, so it's just better for me to be quiet than maybe after I can now sit you down. Oh, whatever it is that happened that time, I didn't like it, and this is the reason for that. But to speak at that time,
Gloria, your strategy.
first of all, I cry.
I cried too, I cried because things I want to say, I really hurt me, so I cry on your behalf, to be honest.
All the ambulance will not okay.
I
Okay.
cry on your behalf, then I just calm down. I think each whether is really worth getting angry over, and like it's what discussing like my career about, but isn't.
Then there's this common saying that men should not cry, men should not show emotions, and it's really affecting people's relationship, especially in the dating world. Are you seeing that? It's really affecting people's relationship because some women now say, my boyfriend, my this thing is not giving me all that. When I do something, it's not even like reacting in a way. So Daniel always say about that phrase, men should not cry.
What I say to that phrase is a counter phrase. And Jesus wept. If
Just for you guys.
if 100% God and 100% man weeps, what the hell am I? I'm saying that because yes, I feel like growing up, especially as I won't even say as Africans now, it's the whole world, right from the Nazi regime and all that stuff. You're a man, you're crying. How? They see it as weakness. They say that. I don't know how many of you have watched Suits. Yeah, I've respect that says showing emotions make you weak. That's the only flaw I probably have with that man in that whole show. So showing emotions as a man doesn't make you weak at all. I think and I like that in this modern era, men are getting that education they need. As I am, crying is not out of it. Though. When I am beaten by life, but seriously, take a quiet time and just shed a tear or two. It doesn't make you weak. Sometimes, as most women will tell you, it helps you realign your thoughts. So if you claim you're a man that is logically sound and emotionally intelligent, why would you want to clear your mind if that's a technique of doing so? So yeah, it's a silly phrase.
Short game before we continue our questions and all. So you have to pick from this container, read out the question and answer it.
Ladies first.
But you wait till
In this place,
after everybody has
Jesus.
okay, so Tisefunmi. Okay, so what's the question in
Do you prefer dogs or cats? I prefer dogs.
Why?
I've always had dogs, so I don't know how cats behave. And I heard they run a lot. Or I don't know, you can take care of them and they leave.
You leave them.
Gloria,
Gloria,
which
which is
Okay,
okay.
get eye. I swear, cat to get eye. I swear to God.
Yeah, Jumoke.
Me?
Yes.
What's your favorite book? The Silent Patience.
Mm.
What's his name? Alex. His other name is so complex, I can't pronounce it.
So what did you get from the book?
Oh, it's suspense thriller. That's like my favorite thing to read.
Okay, Gloria.
Mine says, who is your biggest inspiration? I'll say it's in Zara.
Why is it?
in Zara? She's just so brilliant and beautiful. She's God fearing. So
Okay.
What should you do?
She's a YouTuber and isn't it very
Okay, wonderful.
okay, Daniel.
If you could instantly learn any language, which would you choose? Me hablo español. Yeah, can't go español. So Spanish for sure. For sure.
Okay. So mine says, what's one skill you wish you had? Flying.
Tolu in this thing. Like this.
You?
Tolu also say join.
Do they learn to fly?
Tolu say
Isn't that like a dream or something?
Why would you want to fly? Why?
you want to video.
But that's what I want actually.
Okay, so coming back to the questions. Okay, so
What practical steps can individuals take to improve their emotional intelligence? Now, there's this thing about sensitivity, people not being sensitive of other people's emotions. Somebody is behaving somehow before you, and you don't even know how to like react to what that person is doing. So, what are the strategies or practical ways to like improve our emotional intelligence? So, then,
Practical ways. Okay. So before I might say anything practical, I'll just outline the facts. Number one, many people don't know what emotional intelligence is. You hear things like, "Oh, you're not even emotional intelligent. You don't understand." You might just be a stupid person, honestly speaking. Forgive me, but it's facts. People do not know what that word means. Just as people don't know the meaning of misogyny and feminism. These are trigger words, I like as my chairman is laughing. So, emotional intelligence bifurcates into self-awareness. You have to be self-aware, social intelligence, and I would say self-management. Right? Practical ways is you need to take time to understand yourself, especially in the place of anger. I know people talked about anger earlier. You need to take time to understand yourself because if not, you can lose a lot of good people. The other time you were talking about friendships and colleagues and all that stuff. You don't have to get rid of everybody because you're trying to look for a real friend. Do you understand what you need actually? Do you understand that connections are necessary? Take your time to understand who you are. How do you understand who you are? I always say this in a while, breathing and out first. Life is hard, normal, but breathe. You can start writing out the things you like, the cons and all that stuff, right? About yourself and then about others. And then take time out to um, work on empathy. That's what emotional intelligence is all about. Empathy. How you can put yourself in other people's shoes. It's all about the mind. Yeah, I tell my people, mindset or rather mentality translates into ability. So you need to take your time to think, right? These are practical things people can do. It's not, you know.
thank you, Gloria.
I'd like you to like read more books and watch more inspirational videos of videos that will teach you on how to be more emotionally intelligent.
So, can you recommend anyone?
Listen, Zara's.
Free advice for listeners and
Then for books, the Holy Bible.
Number one.
Your first go to. Then you can. I don't have the names of books in my head, but I can check it and
Jumoke?
I think another thing should be active listening, like listening to yourself and to people. There and not just listening with your ear. There are ways you can, listen to people's emotions, how they posture themselves. If you say something and somebody reacts a certain way, they don't have to open their mouth before you know whether they like it or not. But if you are conscious of how they behave, then you know whether to continue with that statement or not to.
Okay. Like Jumoke said, how you listen to others, like developing or improving your listening skills, yeah, and also uh, empathy, because uh, I think when trying to understand people, yeah, you have to first of all you have to be empathetic about the situation, because I don't think at that time people need to be judged, right? I think they need someone to understand what they're going through, not sympathy, not someone to pity them, to understand what they're going through. I think the perfect example was I think in the Bible, yeah, when Jesus wept with um, Martha and Mary, he validated what they were going through. So yeah, empathy.
No wonder it's class going to fight.
So there's this thing that when somebody is angry, they don't like it when somebody tells them sorry.
Mm.
So please, what else am I supposed to tell the person if not sorry?
Be angry with the person.
Yes.
So, if I may,
Okay.
first things first, I just want to say this. The idea that you see people show emotions when they're angry is a lie. What do you mean it is? So all the time we spend together, I was happy, is false. When I'm angry, that I'm showing you true emotions. That doesn't sound sensible enough. So that idea, I think people need to check that so you don't lose friends. Then number two, I have thought about this thing before. Nobody likes being told I'm sorry when I'm vexed. I remember the other day I was enraged, kind of. My guy was about to talk. I said, just pause, don't say anything, right? I think if you really think you want to help the person, right? Sorry obviously isn't the thing to say, or it is weird, or you'll be fine. Ah,
You'll be
you'll be
fine.
fine. I tell you something, I'll be fine. So the thing you can do is everyone has to believe they're a therapist, right? You are a therapist, so you ask intentional questions that will probably drive out thoughts or words. And if they don't want to speak, assure them that it's okay. Assure them that you are there with them. You can just sit in silence with them. You don't have to jump to the rescue.
You don't question your silence again.
That's why I said you first of all ask questions. What's happening with you? Are you okay? You want to talk? If I said easy, do you want to talk about it? If they say yes or no, probe one more step further. Are you sure? I'm here if you need to talk. If they still don't want to talk about it, I'm here with you. Right? Whatever it is, it's going to be okay. And if it's not okay, we'll deal with it. We'll find a solution. It's why I like that idea that they say men are solution providers. Sure, it's a real statement for a real man, but everybody should have that ability. Instead of sorry.
Gloria, give it a side when you said being a solution provider. Do you have something to say?
For men,
I said real men. I didn't say every man. You know?
That's all. Oh, Tisefunmi, you wanted to say something?
Oh no.
Okay. So now, how has your spiritual beliefs, how have your spiritual beliefs influenced your understanding and expressions of emotions? Tisefunmi.
Okay. I think the first thing, right, is modeling your steps after Jesus. Because in the Bible, a lot of times, or I think first is to understand the situation because Jesus acted different ways to different people, like for example, I was stuck.
When they brought the woman to stone her, and
Exactly,
then when
that's
he
what, that's
bashed
what I
the
was trying
tent
to.
in
That's what I was
the
trying to. Because you know, I just feel like first of all to pray to ask God for understanding and wisdom to be able to handle the situation properly because there are some situations that require you to be angry. There's some situations that require you to act out. Not necessarily be angry, but to act out. There's some situations that require you to be you know to be gentle. So I believe it's just to ask the Holy Spirit for guidance every time.
Jumoke,
it's like, what would Jesus do?
WWJD.
Yes, but in analyzing what would Jesus do, don't let people take you for a mom. Yes, don't be heavy. It's not, so I'm so sorry. It's not every time that they slap you that you return this place. Like sometimes that it's not like you're going to retaliate to, but be firm in your position. Let them know that thing you just did, don't let it happen again. And then there will be some other times where you just say, okay, is it Christian like for me to give a response to this person? And then if it is in terms of anger, the Bible tells us you must annoy you 70 times, 7 times a day before you get angry. So the Bible should be your guideline. Jesus should be your model, and the Bible should guide you.
So, Gloria, you have anything to say?
My God.
And you said your spiritual beliefs has like how does
Okay.
spiritual beliefs influence?
Okay, I got to understand that this world is actually more spiritual than what I think it is. In the sense that for everything that happens, there's something behind it. Either the spirit of God or the spirit of the other. Um, so now for everything that happens, I am more cautious. I ask the Holy Spirit what I should actually do, how I should respond in this particular situation, because it can either be a test or like a temptation. Yeah.
Okay, Daniel.
Um, I I like whenever I hear the word spiritual, because I realize that we were first born as spirits in flesh before we decided to believe in Christ alone. What that means to me is there's going to be laws. There's going to be laws of the earth. There's going to be laws that guide nature. There's going to be laws that guide humans as spirits before, of course, submitting to the ultimate will of Christ. What I'm trying to say is, uh, how do these laws help me out in cases like this? I like to number one, I like to what's what I'm looking for. I like to look for the slow to respond angle and then the best thing to say angle. You know, they say be slow to anger. It's true. But however, what she also said is great, which is don't let your silence translate into what you say is make you look like a monk. Yeah, exactly. I don't sacrifice your self worth for compromise, right? Don't because Jesus said it, they slap here, it's on here. Fine. But you get the kind time you slap here, fist ready. Okay, okay, no, don't punch anybody. Let me correct that. Don't punch anybody. But I like to think anger is not a bad emotion to feel.
Yes.
It's just the lack of control of it that is the problem. It's always nice to feel all these things. I mean, big so if I said get your heart broken, I like that one best. Feel it, feel that thing. Sorry if they don't recently broke your heart, but feel it. So yeah, what would Jesus do is phenomenal angle to these things. But if you're not a Christian, what can you do? Be a Christian. But if you cannot be a Christian, still be a Christian. I believe every belief system promotes peace, promotes love. It's the truth. Except the what's this ones they're called? Is it fanatics they call them or bigots that will over exaggerate teach extremists, God bless you. So try and look for the Jesus angle or the self composed angle.
That's a joke like that.
No,
We never
I'm
pick
giving I'm giving this question. What should I give questions?
now
I'm
man
going
is
to give both of
human.
you.
Now man is
One.
human.
So no, it's not part of it. Okay, so now let's open
Him first, I think. Alright, let me go.
Okay.
Morning person or night owl?
Yeah, none right.
I'm alive.
Ah.
Why I say that is sometimes I like morning stress. Yes, it's weird. But if I get up in the morning like this, I'm not resting until it's night time. And then there's some nights where I'm active at that point. But it's mostly morning person. It's mostly morning person. Yeah.
Okay, there's like this thing that it's not a question. There's this thing. I don't know why some people wake up in the morning and okay, we're saying something when me and my sister when we're coming towards like this for this recording.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up this like we're coming this morning and they were playing very loud music in the cafeteria. I'm like, can't you wake up and wake up with
You being silent.
yes, when are you waking up and there is loud music already in the morning? You're already making noise. Why?
Up and active.
It's not needed, but I don't know if I'm just feeling that way, or is this like, is there a way, like, is there anyone that wants to say something about it? Because I don't like it. Like, wake up in the morning and everywhere is too busy. You have to wake up and relax, or is it just me?
I think some people are like that.
Mm.
Like in my house now,
Mm.
one of my siblings is when she gets up in the morning, don't speak to her because she's still booting. And then the other one is already opening doors. Bah, go. You know he's awake. And then they're always fighting. I've come to understand the two of them. This person doesn't like talking in the morning. But this person, once he opens his eyes, he's active. His energy levels are high and running already. So just have, but some people they let's toe the line of love. There's something called nuisance. So in as much as you want to be up and active, you need to consider the people around you too. Nobody is saying you should not play music, but your music shouldn't be so loud that I can hear it conveniently and I'm not even close to you.
I feel like that's the whole emotional intelligence thing there. You want to hear loud music, get your AirPods, get your earpiece.
Yes.
I know
Where did
people
you buy it?
you like you like the feeling of speaker, fine, but if you're in places where people are going to be uncomfortable by that, it's just like putting on lights in the room. So people don't sleep with that.
Yes.
So
It's like
this is where they say emotional intelligence deals mostly with empathy, putting yourself in other people's shoes. Not that you will go and do the whole loud music thing and then start saying, I'm sorry. How about
Apologize.
like
Did you
and you see they never apologize, imagine. So and then that's where the diversity is in humans. And some people just like the gaga. So just chill.
Tisefunmi, your question.
Oh, the question. What's your comfort food?
I think we've answered this, right?
Yeah.
No.
Would you mind first? I don't think we
Okay.
plantain.
Plantain. Why plantain? Anything with plantain. Why
Swallow
plantain?
Even Gary and plantain.
Why plantain?
I don't know. Well, when I was young, I was egg. I love egg. But I don't know recently.
Just grew.
Plantain.
Okay, so now back to our questions. So, how do cultural norms and expectations shape the way we experience and express emotions? I know we've been saying this, like, men should not express emotions. We've talked about women and the others. But is there any other norm that you guys know of that you want to share apart from this gender thing?
Anyone?
That one now would be family based, to be home based. I grew up in a place where my dad actually shows emotion. Yeah. If he intends to show he's happy, he will show it. If he intends to show he's mad, he will show it. There's never been a time of, oh, the man just guide. You don't know what he's thinking. And I'm the only son, yeah. So it's kind of going around women and then a man like that. Women are show emotions and then a man like that, you tend to you don't shy away from your emotions. Yeah, you don't shy away. I would say where we grow up, our background, and even the friends you have, right? Especially as a guy, I grew up with a lot of male friends. If you have male friends that don't know how to open up, there's a high chance, you would go into the world spreading such energy. So environment is that culture for us. Our culture, yeah, I believe, starts from the home, the friends, and then you come up with that. So things like that is,
Essential.
yeah, essential.
Okay, so while you were talking, something came to mind. There's this thing about maturity and like age and emotional. Wait, what happened? You want to pee?
Not now. Continue. Not be as saying to pause
Okay,
before.
pause. Thing. While you were talking, there's this thing that came to mind that there's this thing about age and emotional intelligence. People expect people that are of the older people and everything, they should be emotionally intelligent, but I don't think it is that way or something. Or maybe just me that just seem like that. Who is agreeing to me? Who is agreeing with me?
Before I say anything, I think let me answer. Is anyone? because I have the perfect answer to that.
No,
Anyone?
age is not a determinant of maturity or
Mm.
emotional intelligence. You have, so sorry, you have foolish people at 40. Like foolish people grow. It's not like they get to a certain age.
It's so great.
Yes, they
Uh,
grow. So foolish as a child, foolish as an adult.
You know,
They don't change.
my mate, my friend Seth, he says, he said on the very first time I spoke to him, we were having a long conversation. He said, you can find a 30-year-old boy and a 20-year-old man. It is that I would always quote that because it is so true. The age is not an assurance that you have sense. Experience gives wisdom, sure, but that age factor, no. I would never say, oh, because he's older, he's wiser. No, you can, as you said, foolish people grow too. I think that's perfection. And I like to define maturity as, when you are constantly willing to accept that you can be wrong and willing to learn. So that can happen at any age. Once you stop being able to accept that you can be wrong or willing to learn, you are immature and happy.
So who should be more mature? Um, wait. Relax now. When there is like an argument, let's just take it to the relationship part of this thing. Who should be more mature when there's an disagreement between the husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, boy and girl, all those kind of things? Who should be more mature?
The one that cannot give birth.
Gloria. So
Why?
the man should be more mature.
I think both parties should be.
I feel both
Should
parties.
be.
Because there'll be a time where maybe there's a time where maybe it cannot be 50-50. One person will have to show forth the maturity and let the other person be childish in processing their emotions. And there'll be another time too when the roles will be reversed. It doesn't have to be one person carrying the burden of being mature every time. That's what we're talking about. Like you need to let people be able to express their emotions. It's not every time that they'll say, if I don't decide to, let's say, cack up or like be the man in charge, then nothing is going to happen. No, there are times that you should also, as maybe a lady, be able to, okay, it's fine, you should be angry, apologize, realize that you are wrong, and things like that.
And I feel like if you also have the Holy Spirit in you, you actually convict you and tell you that you can't apologize first, or the other party should come and apologize first.
All right. So, is there any quote like that you have concerning emotional intelligence? Daniel.
Before that question is even answered, why didn't you say anything? The last question. I just see someone just get quiet. Why?
You people are not ready to argue. Maybe they are ready to argue now.
That's so real. Not yet. Okay. I'll follow Malga.
Eh? No. Speak your mind.
We should be more mature is situation based, right? You cannot, and you should know who you're with, for Christ's sake. I don't know how people act like they have forgotten who they are with, right? It's like when in school, yes, not everybody is mature. And let me use school as an example. Imagine a guy in his 25 or so, you are dating a girl that is 18. Number one, I should take you to jail, but she's legal, so sadly, I can't. You're dating a girl that's 18, and then she's acting 18 or even lower. You're vexed. Are you not taking crack? It's true. Like, what's that? So, like I said, it's situation based, and you should know who you are with. Like, I think there was a time everybody must have seen that stuff. There was a question circulating online about when your wife is giving birth, and then your boy's been picked up or in the hospital or something like that. Who you visit? I think the person asking that question self is stupid. Because why won't you visit your wife? What do you mean you will leave your wife as birthing? And then if she gets angry, you say she should understand. Some people don't deserve to marry. Honestly speaking, no, sometimes you need to hit it on the head. Paul in the Bible has said it. If you know fit, no marriage. It's not a curse. Some people are blessed with it, and some people are not. How can you abandon your wife? Is what your one? That's you on the bed. That's you on the bed. How can you abandon yourself? You can't walk, and you're going to meet your brewski because of. I understand brotherly love. Honestly speaking, I mostly roll with my boys. But let's call it spade a spade. We shouldn't be silly in the name of. You should understand. Why can't you understand? I think I said that before. You have to be what you want to receive. So yeah, that's the type of emotional clarity. No vex, I beg. What's the last question? Quote, Abby.
Yes.
Please ask the next person first.
I don't have.
You don't have a thoughts. Age is just a
Ah,
age is just
I like that one, sir.
age
You
is
know,
just
I don't have any.
age is just a number.
jail is just a sentence. I just tell you.
So explain the age is just a number.
Hmm.
What we're talking about is of how people have to act their age.
Hmm.
Experience matures people. So that age is just a number. It's just people believe like you're 30 to be like okay wise, to be like advanced in this and that, but that does not qualify you to be called a matured person. You can be 18 and be wiser than someone that's like 40.
So how can we be more self-aware?
You don't have to look your quote.
It's not a quote, but reference what you said. Is it Gloria? You're
Yes,
Gloria. You're Gloria. No vex, Gloria.
That's Gloria.
No vex. The quotes I will take from what you said is actually mostly for the Christians. Let the Holy Spirit guide you in all your endeavors. I don't like that we have many Christians that they have a life separate from their Christian life. How? Jesus is an identity you own. How do you now have another identity? You should make it a habit actually having communications with the Holy Spirit. My yoga, do I go left or do I go right? Do I reply or do I not? That's actually one of the safest ways to live for us believers. And if you're not a believer, believe. That's just it.
Okay, so I said, okay, so how can we be more self-aware? Okay.
I don't know. You have to be more self-aware. You have to understand yourself, and there's this thing about being honest with yourself, and then having somebody that around, like surrounding yourself with people that can tell you the truth. You know, as humans, we tend to, I will not say lie to ourselves, but that's the word that is coming to mind. Now, we tend to lie to ourselves a lot. We, in our heads, we believe that. In our heads, we believe that we are perfect. Like whatever it is we do, is the other person that has wronged us, not us being wrong. But if you surround yourself with people that can tell you the truth, like if you explain to them this is what happened, and then they'll be able to tell you, but you know that you are the one at fault here. That helps you know that okay, maybe I have this particular tendency. I want to change it. And then also being honest with ourselves. We should be able to sit down and reflect as a person. This thing has happened. What role did I play in this thing going this way? What could I have done better? And by having or by practicing that reflection, it helps you improve as a person.
So are people born emotionally intelligent?
Did you answer
That's
first?
it. That's
You
it.
said
That's it.
no. You said no first, so you answer first.
I don't think so because we I think naturally people want to just I think we just like conflict naturally. So like so I don't know everybody's born intelligent. I think it's based on experience. I think you have to first experience and be able to
It's not who I am.
yeah exactly.
Gloria, you said what? What did you pick?
So that's how I am.
That's like,
I'm like, oh,
Oh,
that's just
my
me.
God.
That's my zodiac sign. That's my temperament.
That's how I am. It's like the worst set of defense I've seen in my life. I've watched Chelsea play and they have shit defense, but that's rubbish defense. That's What do you mean that's just how I am? Like that means you should be ridiculous. And permit me to say, it's your gender that uses it most. She has sat
Because
up.
people don't say
I don't forget to think of something. Don't mind, don't mind. But here's the serious first.
Wait, okay, what did you pick? Is it boy? Are we born with it? Or no, I'm not. You're born with it.
And I think there's something we did in this psychology or philosophy in 100 what we said the mind is a like the mind of a child is like a clean slate. I've forgotten the is it record, tabula rasa or whatever that they call it. So as a person, once you are born, your mind is a clean slate. That's why children don't come from heaven and they start speaking immediately that they are born. They learn certain things. Emotional intelligence is acquired.
Okay. So I think we've come to the end of the episode, and I want to appreciate everyone for listening. I want to appreciate the guests, Tishe, Gloria, Jumoke, and Daniel for really honoring this invitation. I think I'm filled already with a lot of words. But please, you guys should subscribe to this podcast, like, comment, because you hear more things and you learn more from plenty things. Sha. So please, thank you guys so much.